Episode 4 of Yu Yu Hakusho starts with Yusuke, Kazuma, Hai, and Kuruma taking the ship to Sakyo's island. Yusuke learns that Sakyo is going to keep Keiko alive only if Yusuke manages to defeat the yokai monsters. Kuruma concludes that the rich investors were treating this battle like a tournament for their entertainment and bidding money on the yokai to kill them. The four make it to the island where the rich investors, including Terracane, get ready for the matches. Sakyo tells Terracane that he is going to either merge the demon and human worlds or die when all this is over. He tells Terracane that he wants the world to take him seriously and he will go to any extent to make that happen. Boten asks Koenma if he has informed Yusuke about Sakyo's plans to merge the two worlds. Koenma tells the Grim Reaper that he was keeping the news a secret from Yusuke to keep him calm. Keiko senses the arrival of Yusuke on the island as the boys make their way to the location of the tournament. Hai decides to fight alone while Yusuke, Kurama, and Kazuma enter the playground together. Kurama fights Karasu while Hai fights the giant Bui. Bui, who is much stronger and uses a large sword, fights a comparatively fragile and tiny Hai. On the other hand, Kurama uses the power of different plants to fight Karasu's bombing ability but fails in comparison. Going further inside, Kazuma and Yusuke split too as they start looking for the girls. Yakina helps Keiko by healing her wound and she reveals that she was a yokai too. Meanwhile, Karasu's bombs seem to overwhelm Kurama when he suddenly ends up taking his original yokai form. Karasu is shocked to see Kurama in his true form when he turns out to be more powerful than the original yokai. On the other hand, Hai is also having a tough time fighting Bui, the giant bull. Hai manages to attack Bui, which infuriates him. Bui takes off his mask and charges at Hai at full capacity. Consecutively, Keiko pretends to be injured and attacks a guard who leaves the door open behind himself to check on her. Keiko manages to free herself and Yakina. Yakina is still traumatized by what happened to the guard and asks to be left behind, but Keiko insists for them to leave together. Meanwhile, Kurama grows a lot more powerful than Karasu as he traps the latter. But, during the attack, Kurama ends up piercing himself with his weapon, a flower's thorn. This instigates the human side of Kurama that deals with death and he takes his human form again. On the other hand, Karasu loses his mask and gets to his full potential when he attacks Kurama. Hai also sees Bui's full potential as he charges as Hai. Furthermore, Sakyo watches Keiko and Yakina trying to escape from the CCTV footage around the area but does nothing. The girls try to hide from who they assume is a goon. Keiko ends up punching the person in the gut, but it turns out to be Kazuma. Kazuma is in pain but forgets all about it when he sees Yukina's goddess-like beauty. Koenma decides to keep the news of Genkai's death a secret from Yusuke to keep him calm. Yusuke runs around the island looking for Keiko while Bui knocks Hai down. But, to his shock, Hai manages to wake up and unwraps his arm, which possesses the power of a fire snake. Hai manages to kill Bui but heavily injures his arm in the process despite winning the fight. Kurama, on the other hand, despite being weaker than Karasu, runs towards him and pierces his palm with a sharp thorn, allowing the poison from the plant to enter the yokai's body. The plant makes root inside Karasu's body and the plant sprouts inside him, killing the guy. Both Kurama and Hai are pronounced winners, which infuriates the investors who had bid huge sums of money on the yokai. Sakyo tells the investors that they still had a chance to make the money they lost, as he calls on the Toguro brothers. Keiko, Yakina, and Kazuma end up opening a gate and releasing a large roundworm monster. While Kazuma tries to escape the roundworm monster, Keiko decides to shut the door so that they can escape before the monster catches up to them. The girls ask Kazuma to slide in through the door and manage to flee from the monster. Hai and Kurama, both injured, meet each other and start looking for the other two members of their team. On the other hand, Kazuma, Yakina, and Keiko run into Elder Toguro while Yusuke ends up facing younger Toguro. Younger Toguro asks Yusuke to show him the power of the spirit orb that he got from Genkai. Sakio asks the investors to triple their bets on the Toguro brothers as he launches the machine that would eventually merge the demon and the human worlds as the episode ends. The episode review. This episode proves the point of how the show is being rushed more than it should. For starters, at no point in the episode are we told that taking off the mask or triggering a certain aspect in the yokai increases their power. It is only through knowledge of the anime/manga or reading up on the lore of the show that viewers will understand this fact. This makes most first-time viewers miss such an incredible detail. Aside from this, the fights on the show are extremely well shot, and it's hilarious to see Kazuma instantly fall in love with Yakina. Aside from that, the original forms of Kurama and Hai were very interesting. Kurama takes the cake with his extremely beautiful real form. The white hair suits him so much better, and the red hair does no justice to his character. I wish there were more scenes in Kurama's real form if the show is to be renewed for a new season. I also wish there was more female power on the show, because Yakina is acting like a damsel in distress despite being a yokai, while Keiko is doing the bare minimum as a female character in this action drama.